Hello, thank you for joining us for February's webinar. I'm just turning off the webinar on my phone. There you go. Today's webinar is on sustainable solutions and finding ways in which we can have a sustainable office space or wherever your workplace is. We're going to have a look at sort of bin infrastructure, and then we'll spend most of our time talking about our office supplies department, which is why Jamie is here.
Hello.
I'll quickly rattle through the agenda. So yeah, we'll look at bin infrastructure and then Rocora's sustainability focus and how that might match onto your business's sustainability focus. Then look at Rocora's office supplies and why you should choose sustainable products. And then there'll be time at the end for a Q&A, where if you have any questions, do feel free to ask them. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was bin infrastructure. Now, I've spoken about this before, but for anyone who has not been to one of our webinars, this is just a very, very quick overview of why bin infrastructure is important and making sure that what you have in your space matches what I'm saying, because this is the easiest way to make sure that your recycling is of the highest of quality and is being segregated properly. So location is the first thing that we look at, and it's all about making sure that your bins are in a centralized space. So you want to have all of your materials in one space. So your paper, your cans, and then your glass, your food, general waste, etc. Make sure that they're all together. By having them dotted around an office, all that does is make people passive, and they're more likely to only just put it in the bin closest to them rather than making a decision when they get there. So it's all about making sure that you have a centralized bin station there ready for you. Secondly is signage. So signage is really important. You want something that is very, very obvious and color coded as well, so that it's very, very clear what goes in that bin, why it goes in that bin, and what does not go in that bin. So if you do require any signage, we have our Recora signage. You can contact either your account manager or your help desk, and they'll be able to get that sorted for you and sent over with any information that you might need. But yeah, all of our signage is available for you to print off and use throughout your workspace. And finally, color coding. Now, color coding is also really important because it's a very easy visual aspect into making sure that things go into the right bin. With color coding, we use the WRAP colors, the WRAP certified colors. So for example, green is recycling, gray or black is general waste, and then there's lots of other colors that match different materials. And what we would say is try and follow those colors, because while if you have different colors within your office space, they may not match the ones that are used in public realm or in other cafes, etc. And that can cause confusion and can cause a lot of contamination. Now, on to contamination. These are just some of the things that we regularly find within recycling bins. And I think it's just really important to look at them and kind of show why they don't go in those bins. So the first one on there is coffee cups. Now, a lot of people think that coffee cups can be recycled. The reason that they can't is because they are a mixture of paper and plastic fibers together, and they have a sort of plastic lining within them that can't be split up from the paper. That means that when it goes through our recycling bin, so when it goes through the recycling, it can't be split up. So it needs to go to a specialist. So it must be separated through the bin infrastructure. Secondly is tissues. Tissues have a sort of chemical within them that keeps them water resistant, unlike paper. So it can't be sort of mulched down and then cut into new paper. So it needs to be separate too. Food packaging is contaminated, covered in food, which therefore means it can't go with the recycling. Flexi plastics are too soft. So that's why you'll see lots of shops like Tesco and whatnot, where you can go and drop off your extra materials, so your extra flexible plastics, whether that's a plastic wrapper or even a plastic bag. Also, you've got glass and food are the final two. Glass is separate for health and safety reasons, and food as well. You just don't want to contaminate the recycling. If anyone has any questions on them, keep them in your mind, and we'll come back to that at the end. Feel free to ask any questions on that later. Now, one of my favorite games, we're just doing 2 rounds of this today, is Bins Across the World. So I'm just very, very quickly going to pop a poll in the chat. I'd love if you could answer that for me. Here's the first one here. It is Bins Across the World versus Canada, Switzerland, Iceland, and Poland. I'd like you to let me know which one you think this is. Okay, a couple of Switzerlands, some Canada, a couple of Polands as well. Switzerland seems to be the winner. It has a 54% recycling rate as a country. Oh, Canada's up there, 6 as well. It's looking quite solid. Give it one more minute. And the answer to this one is Switzerland. So yeah, Switzerland has a 54% recycling rate of all of their sort of like solid waste. They're hoping by the end of this year that they will get to 60%. So that's one of their goals for this year, is to try and hit 60. But yeah, that was a very, very big tie there with Canada, Switzerland, and Poland, all at 7 points each. And one more for the day is this one here. Let's get that up for you. I'm just going to launch this poll if it loads. So it's between Australia, UK, New Zealand, and South Africa. So here is the final one there. Lots of South Africas, one New Zealand, a couple of Australias. What do you think it is?
I don't know.
You know.
You showed me just before.
Loads of South Africas here. And the reason I did put that one in was because I did think it would be a bit of a red herring because of the colours. It's actually New Zealand. So yeah, this one here is 28% of their recycling is of a recycling rate, which is not hugely high. But it's because of a lot of the rural areas within New Zealand. But their main cities are a lot higher. I think in their main cities they're up to about 60, 70%, but it's the rural areas that are kind of lowering that recycling rate. So yeah, that is the answer to that one. Now that's all from me. A little bit on bins across the world, but if you do have any questions about bin infrastructure or our signage or anything around our contamination, feel free to ask them at the end. I'm going to pass on now to Jamie, who's going to introduce himself, tell you a bit about what he does, and then a little bit about our sustainable procurement.
Thank you very much, Matt. So I am an account manager in the office supply side of the business. And we were born out of our clients wanting to buy back the paper that they were originally recycling with us. So that was back in 2009. And now we aim to kind of provide a complete solution for office supplies. And what really differentiates ourselves from other office supplies companies is we've got 3 kind of key focus elements. So that's circular economy products, sustainable procurement, and then logistics. So our circular economy products include office paper. So that's the paper that we collect from you and turn back into paper that you can buy on that service. Matt mentioned coffee cups. So if you've got the coffee cup stream, that goes to one of our processing partners who specialize in removing that plastic from the card. That's then turned into a high quality card that you can purchase for and use for many different things, such as business cards, notebooks, as you can see in the image there. Toilet roll and kitchen towel, that's also something we can provide that's made from the paper we collect from you. Workwear made from recycled plastic bottles, promotional merchandise, such as a notebook or recycled tote bags, for instance. Stormboard, which we'll touch on briefly, but if you've got hard to recycle waste, you can there's a solution for that, and that's made into this Stormboard, which is like an MDF material made from your hard to recycle products waste. And then coffee logs, which if you recycle your coffee waste, that's turned into a coffee log, which is probably not the most popular item if you're in a central London office, but they do burn hotter and for longer than wood, for example. So the circular economy paper, the way that works is that's collected by us and it's baled at our site in Purfleet. From there, we ship it to France, a site called Greenfield, where they de-ink it, turn it into a pulp, and then that's turned back into paper, which we can sell back to you. That whole process from being in your waste bins to being back on our shelves is 6 weeks. And you can recycle paper up to around about 4 to 6 times before the fibres really start wearing away. Coffee cups. So the image on the left-hand side there, that's our processing partner, James Cropper, who are up in Cumbria. So they have the technology there to strip away the plastic, and it's a high quality material. So you can use it for these notebooks, or if any of you have shopped in Selfridges, they make their yellow bags from them. And this is the hard to recycle product. So if you're looking at solutions of increasing your recycling rate and you've hit a bit of a wall, these are really good for crisp packets or pens, for example. You can fill the box, we'll collect it and return it into that Stormboard, which is really, it's like an MDF alternative. In that scenario there, that's a client site where they've turned that into a waste sorting table. But you can also create garden furniture, I think Christmas trees in some cases I've seen, and like construction hoarding, that kind of stuff. So moving on to sustainable procurement. So it's more important than ever that the products we use every day are responsibly sourced, creating positive impacts for both people and the planet. So we've made it easy to make a small change to the products you buy, which can have a real and positive social and environmental impact. We call this our sustainable procurement program. And what we've done here is curated a list of around 2,000 products based on external criteria using the data available from our suppliers and manufacturers, of which the products must meet at least one. These are priority driven on the website, and you'll see one of those 3 symbols. So if it meets that criteria, you'll see this symbol and you'll see that it's driven by priority to the top of any kind of search results. So the green symbol, the recycled content, means that the product contains 50% or more recycled content. The blue icon there is our environmental certification. That means that the manufacturer is a member of the Rainforest Alliance or has the EcoCert accreditation. And then the yellow one is ethical supply chain. So that means that the supply chain has gone through kind of audits such as CEDEX or SMETA audits to show that there's kind of no child labour involved or slavery. Ethical trading initiatives, so the ETI, that's another criteria that we use that falls under that icon. B Corp certified or is registered fair trade. So why choose sustainable products? So first of all, it boosts your environmental performance through making like a very small change. So even if you didn't or you weren't particularly interested in buying better, we hope that the experience of our website means that you do that naturally, because the better products are shown first and it's really visible as to why it's a better product. Recycled paper has a 20% lower carbon footprint versus virgin paper. So you can apply that principle to all kinds of materials. So you can claim a 20% carbon saving if you're buying recycled material. Demonstrate leadership, so support your brand and deliver on your corporate social responsibility policies. And also, I think it's important to kind of shout about why you're doing what you're doing, to show your colleagues and your customers maybe that you're doing better. Make better buying decisions easily. So we've done all the hard work for you with that icon system, and the web store leads with the most sustainable products for all of your needs. So the reason we've done that is to make it easy to make really kind of better informed decisions as to why a product may be better than another one. And we're fully transparent. So the icons tell you exactly why the product meets our criteria. So eliminates that greenwashing. So using external objective criteria to avoid greenwashing has been recognised by the BOSS Federation and Office Friendly, who provide industry expert membership services to dealers in our industry, as leading the way in our office supplies industry. And the project is award-winning as well. So we won an award when it was launched towards the end of last year. And finally, the logistics side of things. So cargo bike deliveries is something we've been doing for over a year now. We now deliver around about 75% of all orders via cargo bike. It makes so much sense in cities. I believe it's 60% faster than van deliveries just because of the routes that they're able to take, and the fact that they can go certain zones that other vehicles may not be able to. They use 18 times less electricity than an electric vehicle, and each delivery versus a diesel van will save you 97% carbon. So it's a no-brainer for us. It's been really good. It's been a really successful change for us. There's no cost implication for the clients. There's no tailpipe CO2 emissions. It's really good for your Scope 3 reporting. Vehicle consolidation, so there's less vehicles going into your building. It's great for your loading bays, and it improves air quality for your local community. We've partnered with Zedify to do these deliveries, first of all, because they have the largest fleet of these types of bikes, but they also align with our values. So they're a living wage employer, pending B Corp, all riders are employed, so they're eligible to all benefits, no 0-hour contracts, and they are Escape the City's top 100 best employers. And we aim to be a single source solution to our clients, because that means less deliveries coming into yourselves, reduced invoice processing costs. I think the average cost of processing an invoice in the UK is 50 to 60 pounds. We offer next day delivery on these vehicles, and for any kind of procurement challenges that you have, anything that you can't find on the website, we have a dedicated specials team. So the least we can do for you guys is provide a quote, even if it's something that's not readily available on the website. And we offer more than just stationery. So we're part of the UK's biggest buying groups, which means that we can supply a diverse range of office supplies and other equipment at the right place. So whether that's facility supplies, catering products, print and promotional products, branded clothing, workwear, tools and hardware, furniture and planning, and signage, all delivered in 100% recycled and suitably sized boxes, which I know it can be an issue sometimes. And we are imminently launching our new website, which looks like this. It's a little more 2024. The website's already kind of really user friendly. On there we have a live stock feed, so you're not surprised if anything's out of stock. So if you order from us and the order's received by 5:30, you'll receive it the following day. Live pricing, so if we agree any pricing with you, it's instantly viewable on that web portal. We've got live chat, so if you didn't like the sound of my voice or any of my colleagues, you can enter that, and we can see where you are on the website and navigate you accordingly. There's flexible user settings, so if you need kind of people to only see certain things, or you want to set up authorization levels, that's very doable. Sustainable swaps is something that's being worked on. So if you add an item to your basket and it's not necessarily the most sustainable option, we'll suggest alternatives for you, and a button click will do the swap for you. And throughout your experience, you'll see greener alternatives. So if you're shopping again for something, you'll see just underneath the product that there are more kind of sustainable products available for that item. Coming very soon, the website will also advise you which products are recyclable and the correct method of their disposal based on the Recora waste streams. So I think that's something that could be very useful. And finally, we believe that small change equals big impact. Our sustainable procurement products make it easier than ever to buy better in the knowledge that the order will arrive via the most sustainable means. Any questions from you guys at all?
Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. We're very excited about the update of the website. Hopefully, it'll be with us very soon, by next week. So you can kind of keep an eye on the website. You can have a look on our social media, and as soon as that is up to date, we will let you know. In terms of having the slides, yes, what I'll do is I will send out an email with the recording to the actual webinar, which will be placed on our YouTube. And I will also send a PDF of the slides, which will get to you, to anyone that signed up.
And if anyone would like log in just to kind of browse the range and look at the stories and see the prices to see how they compare with your current suppliers, obviously it's good to know what you're purchasing so that we can put together a relevant proposal to you. But if in the meantime you did want to have a little browse, just contact me directly and I'd be happy to set you up with one.
It's a question there, how would we recycle coffee cups? So we have an actual stream dedicated to coffee cups. So if you contact the help desk or your account manager, they have a separate bin, so they go into into a separate bin where you can pour out the liquid, the lids go in one, and then the coffee cups go in another. Similar to what you'd see in public realms, sometimes around train stations, you'll find like bins that have kind of all three for the little holes for them. So it's kind of a similar method here. We collect the coffee cups separately, and then they are taken by our drivers directly to be recycled into notebooks, etc. But they do basically don't go into the mixed recycling bin. We keep them separate because they will not be recycled if they go into a normal mixed recycling bin. Same with crisp packets. And so, yeah, the crisp packets would go into that sustainable box, sorry, the circular box that was a couple of slides earlier. So they're very common in kind of like kitchen areas, at tea points, and office spaces, kind of where snacks are being kind of eaten, and then you can just pop all your soft plastics in there. A member of our staff will come pick that up and can swap that box over where needed. And then that's taken away, melted down, and then turned into that hard sort of store and board material, which is then turned into, we've seen all sorts. There's planters, park benches, bins, Christmas trees, many different things. If you want, on our website as well, so just at recoro.co.uk, if you click on recycling and waste, there's all the different material streams there. Feel free to click on any of those. So yeah, feel free to click on any of those and you'll be able to find out how it happens, and kind of where it all heads as well afterwards. How clean does recycling need to be? Hot water usage. So one of the main things that I say, and it's very scientific, it's very scientific indeed, is if you would take that plastic, if you would take that food container, whatever it is, pop it above your head, if nothing falls on you, it's clean enough. We'd love for things to be clean and dry and completely emptied out, but where that's not possible, yeah, if you're able to kind of like remove some of any of that sort of debris and then clean that off, then it's clean enough. Just as long as there's no like food juices or sort of like any liquid, yeah, that's as clean as we can be. Yes, there will be a recorded version of this. We'll pop that on YouTube and I'll email that over too. Do you want to say that?
Do you have a box for recycling items that say recyclable at supermarkets?
We don't have it, so it doesn't necessarily say recyclable at supermarkets. We have the circular box. It's something we could look into, making a sticker that goes on it that says that.
Yeah, we'll come back to you on that.
Yeah.
Come on.
If anyone has any other questions, then feel free. So many else these days that have that on the back. Yeah, true. There's a lot that now say like go to your like with your local supermarket. So yeah, if what it might be worth doing is if we use that image, the sort of like regulation image, and put that on a sticker that can be placed on the circular box, then that might be the best bet. I'll quickly nip back to the box just to explain. Basically, the little flexible plastics red label is just a sticky label, and it can be changed to a variety of different materials. So we've had some in the past that are specifically for PPE. We've had some that are for stationery, for toiletries. So it might be worth us looking into having one that says flexible plastics, and then underneath, like commonly seen in supermarkets, or having the actual logo onto it. So yeah, definitely, it's something we could look into. I'll speak to the rest of the marketing team and see what's best there. But yeah, good, a really good suggestion.
The circular box is really good as well. If you are struggling with any kind of specific bit of waste that is going in your general waste at the moment, contact us, because there quite often is a solution. So I think we're doing corks for someone. There's a circular box for coffee pods as well, isn't there? So
Yeah.
So anything like that, feel free to get in touch, and we can put that forward for you.
Do you have to purchase the new box after every collection? So yes. So the purchase is for the delivery, and the collection, as well as the box. So the box is then, the lid there is like taped shut. We take the whole box away, and then a new box is given to you. Because then that's instead of it being in like a plastic bag, instead of being put in a sack, we take it by box. However, there are many different methods in which we've done that before. For some sites, that's not feasible, and we have had other ways around it, but it's just worth checking with your account manager what's the best way and easiest way for the site and for our drivers. But yeah. What we will do though is we will send over the slides so we can get that all sent to you, and the webinar will be up probably within the next 24 hours. So if there's anything you want to refer back to, then you can do that also. As Jamie said, the new website will be up and running imminently. So once that's up, feel free to have a look at that. But the website is currently live, so feel free to look at it now if you're keen. But we're very excited for the new launch, which should be very soon. But yeah, if anyone has any further questions, do not hesitate to get in contact with us, or contact your help desk or account manager also. But yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for coming, Jamie. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you soon for the next webinar. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.